Hey everyone, Tim Streifler here with Divi Life, and in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to customize header 4 from our Ultimate Divi Header layout pack. And so this is what it looks like here. This is header 4, and so this is customized to our Divi restaurant child theme. However, in this tutorial, we're going to customize it to the Divi Coach child theme, which is another one of our Divi child themes here at Divi Life. And so we're going to go ahead and dive right in a second here, but just to be clear, we're actually going to be following the written documentation. So each header layout pack has a very extensive tutorial on how to customize or how to install and set up as well as customize each header layout that comes with the Ultimate Divi Headers. And so we're going to be following this. Specifically, we're going to be using the visual table of contents, and I'm going to show you how to use this here in a second. Basically, it breaks down and shows you exactly how each part of the header layout, how it can be customized and what step to go to. So for example, if you want to edit just this button, okay, go to step 5. And so we're going to be using that. We're not going to follow this written tutorial exactly, but I'm going to show you how to use the visual table of contents in order to make it easy, depending on the order that you like to change things and customize things. And so the good place to start is the Ultimate Divi Headers comes with multiple styles, and so here's a few of them here. So the goal is to start with the style that is closest to what you want your end result to be. So for example, we're going to be using 4A. 4A is this first one here because we want to keep a white background, and so that's one less thing we have to worry about is having to customize the background to then change it to white when we have one that has a white background. And so we're going to go ahead and get started here. I have the Divi Coach child theme already installed, and you can see this is the default header that comes with the child theme. And so we're going to style header 4 to match the Divi Coach child theme using some of the colors. And so I'm going to show you how to do that right now. The first thing you want to do is go to the Divi library. So we're going to actually import the header layouts here. And so you can see there's already some existing layouts. That's fine. We're not going to disrupt anything there. Now, you already should have the header layouts downloaded to your computer. And from this step, you have two choices. One, you can import the exact one you want to use. Or the second option, which is what I'm going to do, is import all of them. So one of them starts with all, and that will include all of the different styles and all the different layouts. That way, if you're not exactly sure which one you want to use, you can import all of them, and then later you can remove the ones you don't end up using. And so we're going to go ahead and do that. And because we're importing so many, it's going to take a little bit longer than it normally would if we were just importing one. So give it a second here, and then as soon as it imports, it's going to go ahead and automatically refresh the library page. And then as we can see here, as it's refreshing, we're going to see all of the layouts and styles that we just imported. And so we're going to customize header 4A, but we're not going to do it in the library. So we import it to the library, but we do the editing in the theme builder. So I'm going to head on over to the Divi theme builder. Now that we're inside of the theme builder, if you're not familiar, definitely check out the Elegant Themes documentation on the theme builder, but the theme builder is what allows us to create custom headers, assign it globally. You can create custom 404 pages, category pages, footers, everything. So we're going to go ahead and create a global header in the default website template. However, if you want, you can create a new template, assign what pages you want to use that custom header on, maybe only on blog posts, for example. So you can do that in the theme builder. But for our example, we're going to make it on every single page. So we're going to go off of the default website template. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Add Global Header. Now, since we just added it to the library, we can select Add from Library. And then I'm going to go to Saved Layouts. And so header 4A is the one I want. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It's going to go ahead and add it. So if I just hit save, we can go and see what it looks like here on our child theme without changing anything. It's not going to look great, but we just want to see what we're starting with. It actually doesn't look too terrible. We just need to change some colors and fonts and stuff, and we'll be on our way. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So let's go ahead and head on over back to the theme builder and open it up. So we're going to click on the little pencil edit icon there. Now we're going to go back over to here to our written documentation. Remember, we're going to be going off of this. So you can follow the written documentation step by step, and it's going to go show you exactly how to edit every part of it. However, in our case, we don't have to necessarily edit a lot. So rather than going through every single step on here, instead what we're going to do is we're going to utilize the visual table of contents and just edit what we need when we need to. And we'll use this as a guide to show us how to get to that part of the header to customize. So let's go ahead and dive in. So I'm going to say start building. So the first thing I want to do, because I just like to get the big stuff out of the way, is I want to change the logo first, right? So this is just the logo that comes with the header, and I'm going to go ahead and add the Divi Coach logo back in. So this is what the Coach logo looks like. I'm going to go ahead and add that back into the child theme. So to do that, let's head on over to the visual table contents, and it's saying logo is in step 3, right? So let's scroll down to step 3, and it's going to tell us how to get to edit the logo. So step 3 is talking about editing the menu module. So the first thing we do is we open up the menu module. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, before we dive in and actually start editing, a couple things I want to point out about the theme builder. Now, this particular header looks pretty similar to what it looks like on the front end of the site. However, you might notice that some of the other headers will look differently in the visual builder than they do on the front end of the site. And the reason for that is the Ultimate Divi Header Layout Pack. A lot of the headers have a lot of custom code, custom CSS and custom JavaScript that's embedded. However, the visual builder does not load custom code when you're in visual builder mode, but it does load on the front end. And so if you're looking at something and it doesn't look exactly right, don't be alarmed. It's going to look right on the front end of the site. However, for that reason, a lot of times what we recommend doing is I'm going to refresh this page here. It's not letting me open the visual builder. What we recommend doing is using the wireframe mode that is built into Divi, because it allows you to navigate more easily. And so part of that is because this header actually looks really good, but some of the other headers, it's a little bit difficult to see because the custom code isn't being loaded. And so it's easier to kind of see everything through here. But also the Divi's visual builder is made for pages, right? So we're basically using a page builder inside a smaller area for the header. And so it's kind of squeezing in all of those things into a much smaller real estate. And so because of that, things can kind of overlap, and it can be hard to select what you want. It's like right here, I want to select the logo, but it's trying to get me to select the whole row. And so that's why we recommend using wireframe mode, and our visual table of contents is going to tell you exactly what to do. So step 3, we want to edit the menu module because we want to edit the logo. So first, let's get to that menu module, which is down here. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And one thing I do want to point out is we only have one menu on the site, right? So it's automatically pulling that in. However, if you have multiple menus, this is where you would assign the menu to the header. All right, and so the next thing is the logo. So this is where we swap out the logo. All right, so let's go ahead and select the logo here. So if you don't already have a logo uploaded to the site, this would be a good time to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and click save this. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and save and then look at the front end for everything we customize, but the logo is a big deal, so I just want to make sure that's being pulled in correctly. So let's go ahead and refresh here. All right, we got the logo. Still doesn't look great. The colors are off, so let's go ahead and start customizing those colors. And so the first thing we're going to do is customize the color of the button here. Now, one thing we can do is, rather than going in and customizing each color here individually, we can actually do something pretty cool and use Divi's find and replace feature. So Divi has a find and replace feature. So anytime we see a certain color, we can replace it all at once. So it makes it very easy when we know we're going to be changing the same color in multiple places on the site. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this blurb just so I can make sure I get the right color. All right, so let's capture this color here. Okay, and actually we didn't need to capture that color, because what we can do is we can just right click, or I'm on a trackpad, so I'm doing a 2-finger tap on my Mac, and then you can select find and replace. So it automatically puts that color, and then what do we want to replace it with? Well, we want to replace it with the green. So in order to grab that green, I'm going to come over here to Google Chrome, and I'm going to use inspect element. So this is just a handy way using the browser inspector tool in order to find the right color. So there's lots of ways to find the correct color. This is just the way that I prefer using the browser inspector tool. All right, so I'm going to come back over to here, and I want to replace it with here. So there's different options. You can do find this color anywhere on the page. You can do it within this section, within this row, within this column, within this button settings, all modules. I'm going to use the entire page here. And then I'm also going to select replace all found values within every option type, not just limited to background color, because those aren't background color. Those are font colors and icon colors. So I'm going to go ahead and hit replace. And we're going to watch Divi do the magic for us as it goes and updates everything. However, it did not update our main background color, but that's okay because we're already right here. So that is just a quick way to easily change everything all at once within Divi without having to go into each setting. However, if you do need to go in each setting, our visual table of contents will tell you how to edit everything. Okay, edit the social icons. Okay, we do that in step 6. So we have this very thoroughly explained so you can know how to edit every single part of this layout. However, using some of the tricks that Divi already has built in, you can skip a lot of that extra editing. So now all the colors are done. So what else do we have to do? So let's make sure I got this saved here. That way I can look at the progress on the front end. Now I'm going to come back over to here just so I can see. So the original had black instead of gray. Now that's just kind of a preference, whether or not, depending on what you want. I don't necessarily have to match it to the original. However, the gray looks a little washed out, so I'm actually going to change that to black. I think it'll help the menu items stand out a little bit more. Also, you can make the argument to make these black too. The gray almost looks a little washed out, so I'm going to go ahead and update those things here on the front end. So again, getting back to the visual table of contents here, this probably isn't necessary. However, just wanted to make sure it's thoroughly explained how to use this. Editing the menu is done in step 3. Okay, so I can scroll down at step 3 and see exactly where to open that up. Okay, it's in the menu. We already knew that. So again, sometimes you can go ahead and edit directly in the visual builder mode, but sometimes it's hard to select, and so you can go into wireframe mode if necessary. So I'm going to go ahead and open up menu, and I'm going to go to the design tab. I'm going to go to menu text, active link color. That's great. I want to keep that. However, I don't necessarily want to use the fonts that are in the that come with the header layout. Instead, I'm going to go to default, and I think that's going to give me more of the look that I want. I'm also going to use find and replace. I'm going to change that back to. I'm going to use find and replace again and say, find this mini font within this page and replace it with default. That way I only have to do it once. Perfect. Okay, but I still need to change the menu colors. So active menu color, here's the menu text color. Okay, it's a nice gray, but I want to make it black. I want it to stand out more. And we can come over here and see, because I like these ones here, if it's a full black that was used in the original menu, and it's not quite, so I'm going to go ahead and change that. Okay, perfect. I think that's pretty good. I actually like that quite a bit. Now I just want to go ahead and change the color in of the phone number. Now it's because there's a lot of different settings here in the blurb, I'm going to go ahead and go back over to the visual table of contents in the written documentation to see, okay, well, how do I actually edit that? Because it's going to tell me exactly how to edit each part of it, not just take me to the overall design settings. So blurb step 4. So the title section is going to be, whoops, this top part here, and then the body section, the blurb body text is what we want. All right, perfect. So body text, and I can see it was that same gray. I'm going to go and make it that same black. Perfect. Now I'm just going to go, I could do find and replace again, but I'm just going to quickly come over here and do it again on this one. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. I want to look at this in the front end. It's coming along real nicely. It's looking really good. So I like the way that looks. I kind of want to add a hover effect on the get free quote, and actually I want to change it from quote to say appointment like we had on the original header. So I'm going to go ahead and do that in the theme builder. So first things first is I'm going to say schedule. Actually, I'm going to say book appointment. And then I'm going to come over here to design, button background. I'm going to go into the hover option. And as you can see, it's the exact same. So I'm just going to add some opacity here just to give it a nice, obvious hover effect here. All right, let's go down to 90. That looks pretty good. Okay. So save that and come over to the front end. Let's take a look at that. Book appointment, much better. Now I want to see what it looks like on mobile because there's going to be a few things we're going to want to change. So it actually looks pretty good. However, I do want to change the hamburger menu color as well as the mobile menu color here too. However, this looks really good. All right, so coming back over to the visual table of contents, we can look, and it's a little bit tricky for the mobile stuff. However, the mobile menu is still part of the menu. So we can go to step 3, and it's going to tell us how to do the additional drop-down menu and mobile menu. Continuing into the design tab and menu settings is what we want to do. So we'll come back over to the theme builder, open up the menu module, hit the design tab. We'll click on drop down menu. Or I'm sorry, that's not what we want. We want icons. So here's all the icons. Hamburger menu icon color. Okay, perfect. So we could make it black. Actually, that is what I'm going to do, is make it black so it matches. And then the next thing we want to do is do the mobile menu text colors. So mobile menu text color is that same gray. I want to make it that same black again. And hit save. Okay. Now again, some of these, such as the menu colors, I could have actually, the menu text colors, use find and replace, because you'll notice I've changed it in multiple places. And so that would be a time saver. However, I wanted to show some additional options rather than just using find and replace for everything. So I'm going to refresh this, and then we'll go ahead and look at mobile, and then I think we are done. So that's looking really good. We got the nice bold black color instead of the softer gray, which matches the aesthetic and existing styling of the Divi Coach child theme. So that's looking really good. There's not really anything else that we can do. If we wanted, you can see the Ultimate Divi Header has this nice sticky menu here, which looks really, really good. And you can notice the nice shadow as well that's on there. Really like that. If we want, we can add a shadow. So there's a shadow here even before it goes into the sticky mode. And so to do that, we're just gonna go and edit the entire section. Hit Design, Box Shadow. We'll add this one here. We might need to take the opacity down. Yeah, it's pretty intense, so let's take that down quite a bit. To about 10%, 9%. And we'll go ahead and hit save. Obviously that's completely optional. I just like having a little bit of, give it kind of context on the page. So it kind of, see, it's very subtle, but it makes it not blur too much into the image below it. So that is it. That is how you install, set up, and customize the Ultimate Divi Header 4 layout from Divi Life. Hopefully you found this tutorial useful, and definitely reach out to Divi Life support if you have any questions or need any help customizing the header to match your website. All right, thanks everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.